What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So we actually have some very interesting topics that I want to cover in today's video, and these are things you do not want to miss. So if you can, go ahead, hit that like button, and also at the end of this video, feel free to share this with your friends and family over on Facebook so they too know what is currently going on. Because again, some of the stories that we're hearing right now are insane, all right? So let's break down what's happening. So in the next 2 days, millions of Americans will be receiving an additional check, most likely right around $1,000 or more. And this is going to be coming because of the unemployment income. So this is going to happen in 2 days. If you're waiting on this, in 2 days, you can potentially have an additional $1,000. Also, Americans are being lied to. The American consumer is being lied to about the cost of products. I want to expose and explain exactly what is happening so you too understand what is currently going on. And lastly, today, more and more lawmakers are pushing to see student debt cancellation because they say it is needed and it must happen immediately. So here's what's going on. In just 2 days, there's going to be millions and millions of Americans that will be receiving an additional payment. And a lot of this will be coming directly to their bank accounts. This is going to come from the unemployment income tax refunds. According to the IRS, first off, they do apologize that there has been delays, but they say they are working through these issues as quickly as possible. The IRS also says the average 2020 tax return is taking 21 days to process. And this is all because of right now, the unemployment income tax refunds took a little longer than expected. So what we're hearing, stimulus checks, the third stimulus checks, took longer than expected and were a little more intense than many were predicting. So they took a little bit longer. We also know the unemployment income tax refunds were not something that the IRS was anticipating when they started all their tax processing in the beginning of the year. And so that was something that really hindered them as well. However, they do say they are more on track now than they have been in the past. But I just want to warn you guys, the child tax credit payments are still being considered as a possible delay. So just keep that in mind. But here's what we know. If you are set to receive, or you believe you are set to receive, a refund from the IRS for your unemployment income, this is up to $10,200 in unemployment income back in 2020. If you do qualify, what you need to do, according to multiple people here in the community, is you need to go to the irs.gov website, go to the Get My Payment portal, okay, and check to see if your refund is coming. Okay, you need to go and do this because they say that the portal is showing that payments, as of this morning, payments are already showing up as pending in some bank accounts. And if you go to the portal, they will show that you will see a distribution on June 3rd. That is in 2 days on Thursday. Okay, so this is really good news. Check your bank account, check the portal. Okay, that is exactly what members here in the community are saying. So if you do go and check the portal or check your bank account and it shows pending, please, okay, I beg of you, please come back and down in the comment section below, let us know that yes, it's pending, or maybe it shows up it's already in your bank account, or it shows that it's processing on the portal. That's what we just want to know. Is we want more people to come out and say, yes, I see a payment, I see it's pending, I see it's processing, because at least we know the IRS is telling us the truth, and yes, payments are coming out. So that is actually really good news. Now, one thing I do want to address, okay, regarding additional payments, and I guarantee this is going to happen on Thursday, possibly Friday, you're going to see a lot of people saying, I got my fourth stimulus check. Yes, I got it. It was passed. But they're just going to spread a false hope. There's no fourth stimulus check that has been passed as of yet. Okay, it's still being discussed. It's still being worked on. However, this is just a tax return. This is just part of their tax return. This is not a stimulus check. Yes, it's technically stimulus, but it's not a fourth stimulus check. Just keep that in mind. All right, because I guarantee you a lot of people are going to say they got it. You know, check yours, check it, it's coming. And that's not true. That's not the case. The check has not been passed. But in regards to that fourth stimulus check, I just want you to understand a handful of legislative aids at this point today, okay? Today, which is June 1st, a handful of legislative aids. It doesn't specify who, it doesn't specify which party. My guess is it's going to be Democrat, but the reports don't specify this. Probably because they want to stay somewhat anonymous, right? But a handful of legislative aides are stating that talks regarding stimulus checks are bound to pick up once again once unemployment benefits end. They say this because for a few states, this is going to happen on June 12th. Okay, so these aides are most likely stating this because they know that the federal government can't step in and require these Republican governors to pay the federal benefit of $300 per week. So because of that, legislators are going to try to go around and find a circumvent the whole process, find a different way around it to make sure that the American people do receive that $300 per week. However it may be, if it's a stimulus check, so be it. If it's the unemployment benefits, great. They just keep doing what they've been doing. But that's what we're hearing at this point. So expect talks in the next 2 weeks to really ramp up regarding that fourth stimulus check. And as always, I will fill you in on all those details. Now here's the big thing. Here's the big lie. This is a huge lie. It's called shrinkflation. I had to Google this because I had no clue what this was. I've never heard of it before. But according to the Washington Post, many consumers are worried about the cost of inflation, that food prices are soaring. Food prices have gone up recently, and many people are upset by this and saying that they will not buy that product anymore. They'll never buy that product again because costs keep going up. Okay? So even though that doesn't necessarily mean that the company's bad, that the manufacturer is doing a poor job, that the company's just trying to get rich, the company, let's say it's Post or something, right? That makes cereal. Their costs, if inflation goes up, their costs go up, which means the cost of their products go up as well. Here's what we're seeing, okay? Instead of increasing costs to the consumer, the end consumer, what many manufacturers are deciding to do, and this is something that has been okayed by many companies, they are actually going to shrink the packages. They are not going to lower the cost. They're not going to increase the cost. Costs will remain the same, yet the packages will be smaller. Just take cereal, for example. Now, I haven't seen this personally, okay, but it's possible, and I've seen this done at discount grocery stores, but instead of selling the big box of cereal for, let's say, $3.99, they sell a smaller box for $1.99. Which you're actually paying more when you factor in the net weight. So per ounce you're paying more, but it's a smaller box, it's cheaper. People think I'm getting a discount. But that's not essentially true because you're getting less product. So this is actually called shrinkflation, where they shrink the size of the product, okay, and they charge the same amount of money. It's just tricking the consumer that, okay, prices aren't getting more expensive, but they are. If you look at the net weight. So if you go to Costco and see, oh, how much is that bag of cereal per ounce, or how much is that cost of Coca-Cola or Pepsi or whatever soda you drink, if you look at per ounce, it could be cheaper or it could be more expensive. That's what you need to keep in mind. Now, shrinkflation, and this is, again, companies have been doing this for a while, but this is really where things are starting to ramp up, is because now this is seen as a necessity in order to get people to continue to buy their products and not scare them off because of inflation. They're going to go with shrinkflation and try to hide the cost, the increased cost in there. So I've already seen this. Personally, I've already seen this with restaurants. If you go to a restaurant, so for example, I went to, a few weeks ago, I had to do a trip to Spokane, Washington, and we went to, I think Red Lobster or something like that. And instead of the plate being bigger, okay, it was a good sized plate. I think I got shrimp Alfredo or something like that. And instead of seeing a big plate, like I would in Seattle area or something, it was actually a smaller portion. But it was more expensive, a little bit more expensive, smaller plate. Okay, and so again, smaller plate, but looks fuller because it's smaller. Again, that's just one of the instances that I've seen. I've also seen where the brand of baby wipes that my wife and I buy for our kid, for our 1.5-year-old, the wipes, they're actually smaller in size, but they come with the same amount of wipes. It's the same cost, but the wipes are actually smaller, which is weird. Okay, so I'm sure this is happening, to you and other people elsewhere as well, but this is just where I've seen it. So let me know down in the comment section below, have you seen it? What have you seen it with? And how much are prices actually increasing? I'd be curious to know what you guys are saying. So the other thing that I want to address is student loan debt, because today, and this is something that chairman of the U.S. Progressive Caucus, Pramila Jayapal, she actually tweeted this or retweeted this as well, but she said today that student loan debt has reached $1,819,774,442,341, and probably some change. That is as of today. That is a huge amount. Almost $2 trillion in debt, $1.819 trillion. That is a good amount of money. But that's peanuts compared to the amount of money that President Biden is proposing as the $6 trillion in infrastructure spending that he says is needed to build back better. And this is where many people are saying that right now, this is not the time to build back better. We cannot do away with military spending. We have to provide for the American people. There are so many beliefs and agendas and plans and ideas. Honestly, the hard part is trying to get everybody involved and trying to get at least 50 people inside the Senate to vote yes. This is where things are going to really get difficult. This is where we're going to get talks of ending the filibuster, doing away with filibuster reform. There's going to be so many things going on. So as we hear more, I promise I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.